On Tuesday, July 18th, the San Antonio Spurs made a few moves official. What's up, everyone? This is Paul Garcia with Project Spurs. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video, breaking down some of the moves the Spurs made on Tuesday and where everything stands with their roster. Before I begin, I do want to note that I am recording at 7:27 p.m. Mountain Time. So if there's some news that breaks after this, you all know I didn't address it. Okay, so we can see here there was some news since the last video I recorded where Lamar Stevens officially got waived, which is something we had expected. Cameron Payne was officially acquired, and then Tre Jones officially signed his new deal, which erases the Spurs' cap space. So I'll break all that down here in this video. Okay, so on Monday, the Spurs did waive Lamar Stevens, so he will have a $400,000 cap hit on their books for the remainder of this season. The Spurs also acquired Cameron Payne from the Phoenix Suns, along with a 2025 second-round pick via the New Orleans Pelicans and cash from Phoenix. In order to execute this trade, the Spurs had to send something to Phoenix as well, and they sent a very heavily protected second-round pick in 2024 that is protected 31 through 49 and 55 through 59. So basically, there's like 6 and 30 chance of that even conveying to Phoenix. So it's very unlikely that the Suns will end up actually getting to use that pick in 2024. So those are some of the two moves that the Spurs made on Monday. Then on Tuesday, the Spurs officially re-signed Tre Jones. So he'll be signing for 2 years, $20 million. That was what was reported. But this is important because it does erase their cap space that they had. There was a chance that the Spurs could open up to $9.9 million, but now that Jones's deal is now on the books, that opportunity is gone. So the Spurs are over the cap with the cap hold of Dominic Barlow still out there since he's a restricted free agent, and also the cap hold of Sandro Mamu because he hasn't signed his new deal, but they still have his cap hold. So Jones is back, but the Spurs are over the salary cap now by $50,000, and so they've met their one of their goals was to make sure that they basically met the salary cap space that they needed. Because I checked the cap page, and basically back on June 29th, a day before free agency began, the Spurs had to basically accomplish some moves to get them where they spent over $29 million in cap space, and they did that not by signing a lot of free agents. We saw they signed their own free agents with Tre Jones, Julian Champagnie. Mamu's going to sign soon, but also bringing in multiple players on different contracts: Jetty Osman, Lamar Stevens, Cameron Payne, Reggie Bullock. So they use that cap space in a variety of ways, but they did accomplish that goal of using that cap space. And then if the Spurs wanted to still go out and sign a free agent, they still have the $7.7 million room exception. I don't know if they're going to do that just because, a lot of the free agents are already off the board. And then also the Spurs are in a situation right now where they have to make roster cuts because they are over the limit of roster space between now and the opening night of the season, which we'll get into here in a bit. Now, there's still some upcoming decisions for the team regarding Dominic Barlow and Cissoko. Again, as I mentioned about Sandro Mamu, he will sign his deal. I think that will come pretty soon now, because now that Tre's signed, there's no reason. They don't really have any cap space to worry about, so they can get his deal on the books. I was actually very surprised they didn't announce that on Tuesday, but I'm expecting that happens whether like Wednesday or in the coming few days. Mamu should be back on the roster. Now that Summer League is over, though, we do wonder what's going to happen with Dominic Barlow and Cissoko. So we know that the Spurs do have two open two-way spots there. So Dominic could accept the qualifying offer they sent him, and he can return on a two-way spot, or he may be trying to see if the Spurs or another team offers him a full roster deal. And then Cissoko was drafted in the second round. And we're waiting to see if he takes a two-way, or maybe he's trying to see if San Antonio will give him a full roster spot and sign him to a deal. So basically, if Barlow and or Cissoko join the team on a full roster spots, then that means that the Spurs will have to make an additional cut. So we know that because of where they're at right now, they have 17 players on guaranteed deals. 2 players will need to either get traded or moved before opening night in October. And so if we go into the situation, let's just say they give Dominic Barlow a full roster spot and they give Cissoko a full roster spot. Now we're looking at they would need to waive 4 players before opening night, or trade 4 players. That's kind of where their situation lies. Here on July 18th, a Tuesday, for Project Spurs, I am Paul Garcia.